What's good, Miami sports fans? Welcome back to the Miami Sports Break. Happy Friday to you. I'm David Eversole, joined as always by Jakari Givens. Before we jump in, want to mention one of our main sponsors here at the Five Reasons Sports Network, Prize Picks Daily Fantasy. Another great leading up to the season. We've got NFL action preseason. They've been doing summer league. They do all the Counter Strike, and you just have so many different ways to play and win with Prize Picks. They're one of the best at what they're doing out there. So when you sign up for Prize Picks, make sure to use that promo code 5 prizepicks.com. So what's going on, Jock? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Just ready for this Dolphins game tomorrow. Um, it's probably be the dress rehearsal since it's only 3 preseason games this year, so we should see a lot of Tua, Waddle, um, and I'm excited for that, man. Just to see, maybe we'll see a little bit more, stuff like that. So it will be good. Only thing is that sucks is that they've been having joint practices, so they show way more in the practices than they do in the game. So
Yeah, and it's been interesting to see some of the footage out there. Obviously, you've seen Jones matched up with Ridley out there, and
yeah,
a
but
lot
that's
of the
not a lot of that is not. I seen the route that they posted. That's not a true
yeah.
route. In the
No, that
NFL,
was a lot.
yeah, in the NFL, you probably got 4 to 5 seconds to throw the ball. Sometimes less if you have a dominant pass rush. So he's not gonna be able to make 700 moves like that. So I
No,
wasn't. I was very Xavier Howard after they posted like, hey, Ridley beat him deep. Howard came back with 3 back-to-back plays. Um, I think he caused an interception to Javon Holland, which was his fourth in like the last 5 practices or so or something around that notion. So I'm excited, just to see that. I want to see more of Holland. Brandon Jones is back. He just got out the PUP. Preston Williams as well, and Landon Roberts is coming back. So we'll just see how those guys fit into the rotation at the game. Interested to see uh, Noah Igbenogany. He had a strong
mhm.
preseason game. I know practice hasn't been going well for him, but he had a strong preseason game the other day. He made a couple of good plays. So I'm just excited to see that as well. What are like some of the points that you want to see, like anything? Oh, obviously, and one more thing, the offensive line has to play a lot better. Austin Jackson, I've tweeted that he did respond back with a strong practice. So as long as if he just hits half of his potential, you have a solid left tackle. If he maximizes it to the fullest, then you have top 5, top 10 left tackle in the league.
Yeah, and he's still real young too, so he's got a big learning curve ahead of him. He's got time to develop into it. I think every week, as long as he shows improvement, we'll be okay. And it seemed like the line as a whole was a little bit better in practice over the last week, so that's encouraging to see. And like you said, with only 3 preseason games, this is going to be like the dress rehearsal, whereas in the past that would have been the third game before obviously you had 4 in previous preseason. So I want to see what wide receivers are healthy and who's out there, how they just utilize some of the personnel. It won't be obviously a lot of the stuff that you're going to see in games that count, but I'm curious just to see some of the personnel groupings, maybe some of the guys going in motion, getting the ball in a little bit different ways. But Waddle's looked really good. I think that's going to be a point of emphasis for him just getting out there and getting those reps. And with Tua, just trusting what he's seeing out there. He's had a lot of eyes on him, and I don't get the negative stuff that keeps coming his direction. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. The guy's like 8 for 9 in the preseason game, and you just harp on the one interception that he threw, which was a bad play, but whatever. I mean, guys make bad
I
plays all the
I
time.
seen what I needed to see from him. He was in
Mhm.
rhythm. He was throwing guys open. So I seen what I see. The only thing about Tua is he gets a little gun shy, which he's always looking at the rush. So sometimes the offensive line may look bad, but sometimes Tua doesn't step up in the pocket. He doesn't always push up in the
Mhm.
pocket. He saw sometimes he breaks the pocket too early. So that's one thing, guys, if you want to hint to looking at quarterbacks, evaluating them, you always look, does he leave the pocket too early? Because that lets you know he's afraid of the pressure, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
he's moving out. You look at Tom Brady, for instance, he's one of the best pocket maneuvers ever where he knows when to step up into a pocket, when to move. So I think Tua just needs to trust the O-line a little bit more because they did an amazing job in pass protection besides, one of the plays they ran. And Tua had that one negative interception, but I seen what I needed to see. He was hitting guys in rhythm. You really should have been 9 for 9 because we had a drop with Adam Shaheen. Should have been a catch. So
Yeah.
I seen what I seen. I seen what I needed to see. I'm sure we'll get more Waddle involved this game, just to see what you'll do with him. But overall, I was impressed by the Dolphins' offensive line and the Dolphins' quarterback in Tua. I like what I seen in him. Obviously, another surprise was Savon Ahmed. Man, I think this kid is gonna challenge for more touches than people think.
Mm-hmm.
The Miami Dolphins offensive line are not going to be good run game wise, but passing I think will be okay. But I love what Ahmed did. He's explosive. He caught the wheel right out the backfield for a touchdown. So it was pretty. It was exciting to see that, and it's just exciting to have football back. So you're just pretty happy. And Eric Rowe made a couple of plays on defense. So I think we got a taste of what we'll see. We'll see like this week, like more and more of the guys and stuff like that. But most definitely, it was impressive. Tua was impressive. He just needs to get to his reads a little bit faster. But you have to look at what he did do. He threw guys open. He hit Gesicki in the big game, which if you can't tell, Gesicki is one of his guys right now. He trusts Gesicki fully. So that's gonna be he's gonna have a big season anyway because he's gonna be able to attack the middle of the field. And we forgot Parker didn't play or Fuller didn't play, so we didn't see the full complement of Dolphin weapons.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious to see is obviously when you get these different skill sets on the field at the same time, how they're going to attack the defense on different levels. I want to see some of Waddle in the short passing game, get him the ball in space on quick things and let him do his thing with his legs. Obviously, he brings that dynamic. He's tough over the middle. I mean, Waddle, like you said all along, was the perfect pick for the Dolphins. Besides the relationship with Tua that went into it, I just think he was that one piece of the offense that opens up everything. Him combined with Will Fuller, because Will Fuller is going to give you that over the top threat on the outside. You've got Devontae Parker and Preston Williams who can work the intermediary on the outside, can be your big guys over the middle, give you big targets with big catch radiuses. You've got Gesicki who can work the seams. There's just so many levels to this passing game, and I can't wait to see it. And I agree with you. It's just getting the ball out quickly is going to cover a lot of maybe. I'm not as high in the offensive line as you are. I don't think they played well in that last
It
game.
wasn't
But
when I mean played well though. It's not like okay they looked like the Cowboys of old. It's just they played well enough to get their quarterback time.
no, they moved the offense was able to move the ball, I think, but I'm concerned with the running game a little bit because it can't all be on Tua, and I'm feeling like the passing offense might be a little bit ahead of the rushing offense. It seems so. I'm just hoping that we can find a little bit of balance between those two parts of the offense and really make the most out of everybody that we have because I like Gaskin. You've got Ahmed in the backfield. You've got some other uses for these guys in the passing game. So if they can get some carries on first and second down, you're gonna see a lot of versatility with the offense, I think, and it's gonna be good to see. So, what are you looking for on the defensive side of the ball, particularly in the secondary? I know you talked about it a little bit.
Secondary wise, I'm fine. You have two of the top 15 corners in the league: Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. Javon Holland, I'm curious to see his strong play continue. I'm curious to see where Brandon Jones fits in this role as
Mm-hmm.
well. How they use Holland, how they use Jones' role all together. Because you essentially you may see some sets with those guys out there. Nick Needham is another guy who had a strong preseason game. So it's just curious to just continue to build. And obviously, Igbenogany, he's going to be key to the Dolphins' success going forward in the future. So if he continues his strong play in games, I think you'll see him get more reps. Um, I want to see Jalen Phillips. We didn't get to see him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure if he's going to play or not. We haven't, you know, I don't think they released the injury report yet. So hopefully we get to see him in action. But I'm curious. Like I want to see Phillips. He's probably the biggest person I want to see.
Yeah.
Christian Wilkins had an excellent first game, Although it's preseason, he did do his job. They had a lot of stops. And I want to see the second unit play better than they did against Justin Fields. They played absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Fields looked so good in that second half against
Yeah.
those guys.
They
So
pumped that hype train on Fields all of a sudden, man. He's like
yeah,
the next big thing.
so you just want to see that, but overall, I'm happy what Miami is. Miami looks like they're going to be a 9 to 10 win team. I think they will challenge for the playoffs. I think Miami can win the AFC depending on how good the pass rush becomes. Because obviously you got to be able to rush the passing.
Well, and I think you're looking for guys to take the next step. You're looking for Jerome Baker, who's already been taking those really good progressive steps in the first couple of years of his career. You gave him the contract, and now you're kind of looking at him to maybe break into that Pro Bowl type caliber player. I agree with Wilkins. I think Wilkins had an underrated season last year. He didn't really put up a lot of statistical numbers, which you don't really expect that from a defensive tackle. I think a lot of the criticism on him was maybe
He doesn't.
unjustified.
He does.
So,
He doesn't rush the passer very well, which it's not his strong suit. He doesn't
well,
rush
listen,
the
if you just
passer.
can collapse the pocket a little bit, I mean, a lot of that stuff isn't in the box score. So, is he pushing the line? Is he holding his ground in the run game? Is he getting off of blocks? He's asked to do certain things in the middle, and I think that schematically, if they could help him a little bit and put him in position to succeed, he's going to take a big. I'm the guy. I'm the one looking at him to say, hey, let's have a big second year in this system, and the front seven I think is going to be better than advertised. I still have
Also,
some concerns about the
that's one
pass
guy
rush, though.
we didn't talk about who the Dolphins just added. Greg Little, offensive
Mm,
tackle from he's a second round pick from 2019. Um, Dent hasn't played very well in his career. Um, he's been bad. I can't
yeah,
say
he's
that
been bad.
he's still very young at 23.
Yeah,
I personally haven't watched enough film on him to say. I mean, but from the way that they're saying, probably Greg may fit better as a guard. If you look at Eric Flowers, who sucked that left tackle for
hmm
years, moves the guard, and now he's getting multiple contracts. So that can be something to look at. Um, and that's another thing. What combination is going to be out there? Is it going to be
yeah,
Jackson, Kenley? Dieter's not the answer at center at all.
yeah.
Um,
Dina
then
wasn't bad. I mean, Davis. I mean,
yeah, it's like it's what combination
Hunt.
is out there is
Yeah,
going to be a big question. And then you got Liam. So we have to see. I think Liam fits better at guard or right tackle than trying to. I don't know where they're going to play him,
yeah.
to be honest.
Well, I think right now bringing in somebody like Little is just giving you depth, is giving you some experienced bodies. I think they're going to have to run some different combos out there, like you touched on, and just finding the true five, but having some guys that you can plug and play. And but you've seen the problem with the Dolphins with some of these reclamation projects is they're just it's basically it's low risk kind of
Our
moves
reward,
because you're
yeah.
not.
Because if
Yeah, I
Greg
mean,
Little does magically find his feet in the league, you get a solid guy for a seventh round pick.
yeah, if he's a
If,
rotational tackle, that's
yeah,
a win with a seventh round. I think it was their second seventh round pick too, or
yeah.
I don't know exactly the particulars, but it's one of those things where you throw something out there, you hope you find a guy that can contribute if needed. It's not somebody you expect to count on, and you have some depth, which I think you can't really fault them for that move. So I'm excited to see them tomorrow night. I know parking is a little bit different over at the Hard Rock, so anybody who's going, make sure you check out everything. I know there's a lot of changes going
One
on
quick
with the.
question, Dave.
Yeah, man.
We are less than 1 week away. No, next week. So we got next week, but you got Canes and Bama. Who you taking?
What's the score? The spread? I think the Canes will cover.
18 and a half.
I think the Canes cover. I don't think they win, but I think they might lose something like maybe 31-24. I'm gonna have them in a close game, but maybe Alabama just has a little too much to pull away at the end. I think the thing about Miami, it's like it shouldn't be a pressure game for Miami. All the pressure should be on Alabama because nobody really expects Miami to win. But if Miami can just show that they belong with those upper echelon teams and not just get taken behind the woodshed like they do with Clemson every year, then I'll be happy with that, to be honest with you. Of course, I want them to win, but I don't expect them to. I do expect them to compete, though. I really think that this Miami team can compete with the likes of Alabama. A couple breaks go their way, they could maybe steal the game, but they have to play a nearly perfect game to beat Alabama on all phases of the ball, which it's possible. I just don't
Yeah,
think
they have the
it's a
talent. You
likelihood.
can't like the talent is there. So you can't really say like the talent is really there. So we can't say it's not. Like this year
They're
I
not
think
as good as Alabama talent wise, but they can definitely compete and beat Alabama if the game breaks their way and they play to their ability. And maybe Alabama has a couple slip ups
yeah,
along the way. Listen,
it's
anything can happen
football.
in the game. I mean, Miami could come out early and just hit him in the mouth, and maybe they get shook, make some mistakes, and Miami jumps out early and steals the game. You don't know. But if Miami falls behind early, I just don't think there's any way they can come back against Alabama's
Yeah,
defense.
so that's the thing. Miami has the talent to win.
Hmm.
They're probably one of the best teams in the league. But I'm gonna tell you this: the pressure's not on anybody in Miami but Manny Diaz.
Yeah.
They're giving you everything you wanted. You brought in 3 top level defensive coaches to help you call a game. So we'll see what he does. Honestly, he hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been great either. I think they, laid the ball. He's gotten better, but
Hmm.
a lot of people feel like he's not the guy. So we'll see, because I'm on the fence with him, but obviously I feel like if they had a Gus Malzahn or one of those type of level coaches, I think Miami will be in the national title.
It's a make or break year, I think, for Diaz too. So I want to see them come out in a big game early in the season and pass that eye test and show that they belong. You can't ever say the U is back until they start really
Yeah, you
putting
have to win.
together a
You have to
year to
win
years.
these
You
type of
got to
games.
win those games. You got to win one of those big games, and you got to beat the North Carolinas. Miami's a second tier ACC team until they show otherwise, as far as I'm
I think
concerned.
they're gonna win the ACC this year. I don't know if they beat Clemson, but I think they win their side.
Yeah, I think they can make it to the championship game for sure.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think it's got to be ACC
I
championship or
think they
bust.
beat North Carolina handily, and I think they win.
Yeah, North Carolina lost a lot of guys. Obviously, thank God they lost Carter Williams because
Yeah,
Hurricanes fans will probably still have nightmares about that. But
nightmares
we're
about
gonna,
that.
yeah, right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. So, Jock, where can everybody find you on social and everywhere else?
King Jock 24.
You want to give a shout out to the football squad?
Oh yeah, man, South Miami. If you guys want to sponsor us in any way or any donations to the team, any athletes, you want to give back to South Miami, let me know. I am a proud alumni, so it did, kind of warm my heart. They asked me to come back and coach, so I do a lot of that in the community. I also coach at Cooper City's Little League, so anything, just reach out to me, man, and it's whatever. Like I'm just happy to give back to the community.
Yeah, man, all good things. So you can catch me at David W. Eversole, and we're gonna be back next week. Or maybe try to do a couple shows on Tuesday and another one on Friday to catch up on the second preseason game and everything that's going on in the world of Miami sports. Want to thank you all for watching.